It's happening. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. The lights are poured. Hold on. Damn song. Come on, bring it back. Bring it back. Where's it at? Come on now. There we go. Wham. We are here today. We are in the bar. We are screaming and shouting because Bell is back, ladies and gentlemen. Bell is back. He's putting it on Kyle Larson's ass. Right, Sean?
Yeah, he did.
Bell put it on Kyle Larson's ass like it was no tomorrow. No tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into that topic here in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning on in. It's going to be interesting, the show today. Lot of topics to go down. Apparently, Sean, we'll just say this to start the show. All the old tweets from that old Kevin Nouse guy, you know, talking about the cheaters are us or whatever, is gone.
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
That is kind of strange. Although your mic just, I don't know if you bumped it or something, but it just went away. Hello? You'd have to unplug it and plug it back up, I guess. There's a plug on the bottom. Yeah, just take it out and put it back in. That's what she said, kind of. But I think it's back. Are you back?
Am I back?
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy though. The remarks are gone.
Wonder if somebody told him to take him down and shut his mouth.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, there's reasons I sit here and say I think and all that stuff, and you know, there's certain reasons to the verbiage I use, because when you say you know this, that, or the other, if it's not, you know, especially when you're coming from a officiating position, not a, you know, guy on YouTube running his mouth making jokes. When it comes from like a former official who in that situation is deemed credible, you know, that's a little bit different than just somebody yelling it from the stands, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. It's true. So, I mean, some people I've seen screaming no freedom of speech and stuff like that. Is it a freedom of speech still or no?
I mean, in a way, yeah.
What do you mean? You tell me what?
Well, I mean, what you can't say what's on your mind and how you feel, and somebody's got to step in and tell you to take all that shit down and shut your mouth.
Well, I mean, saying what you feel and what you think, that's kind of what we do on here, but he didn't technically say what he feel or what he felt. He didn't say I feel like or I think. He didn't say that. He said they are. This is what they're doing. You know, it's not a feel, it's not an opinion. It wasn't opinion-based statements. It was fact-based.
I mean, if it was fact-based, I mean, still, I mean, he's speaking his piece and airing it out on social media, and something happened after that. I don't know.
Somebody said 3 words: cease and desist. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. Hi, I'm broke, but I'm not Joe. Somebody said. I don't understand this one. But I don't know. I mean, like, I reacted to it. I mean, and I don't know. I mean, was it worth him to say what he said? Because all of a sudden, because of what he said, the entire racing world kind of exposed this veil. Because everybody kind of came out and said, well, yeah, this type of stuff, even if it is true, it kind of happens everywhere, right? You know, it's just this is how it is type of deal.
Well, maybe that's how it is, but he shouldn't have to take stuff down unless he just took it down just to take it down because he didn't want to hear about it no more.
Well, the problem is proof. Like, if you're going to make that degree of an allegation from that stance of who you were at the time and what you are, you got to have proof, because if somebody feels like those words that you're saying are damaged, obviously they were damaging the integrity of the High Limit series, saying that they're, you know, series director is like pulling some strings and favoring drivers, even though we all still kind of think that, or he's like a guy who's saying firsthand that happened. You know, somebody who worked with them. You know, it's a little bit different. But if you're high limit, you know, what he was saying was very damaging. You know, extremely damaging to the integrity of their sport, especially when gambling's coming in. Although I think we still have some problems. I still do think we have some problems. But yeah, there always will be problems. But at the same time, I think once you get to I think 2 or 3 things happened, and this as to why Kevin Nouse has got shut down basically in this whole instance and tweets deleted and all that. I think one of them is it was a very damaging statement. I think that 2 was he was a former employee, you know, and 3, I mean, if you looked at the damn thread, it was literally using, you know, as as they're calling it, a burner account. And there were other statements in there, say, I think it was Mike Pedo Hess. Like, there was, like, really, like, very defamatory statements in there. It wasn't like he's gay. They were going full or anything like that. It wasn't gay. It wasn't slurs. It was like, you know, I think most people would consider pedo or pedophilia a imprisonable offense. That's like saying you broke the law, right? So, like, I think that there's multiple reasons as to why that whole response and thread and situation went to, as they're referencing, a cease and desist, because the only evidence he had to support his case was a personal experience, and that was it. You know, so it's not like he had any evidence, or I don't think he did have any text, or he would have stood his ground, but it's not like he had a full-blown, it's not just what I said here, here's what I think, and here's the text that say I had to hide it. It's like, it came across as like, even if he was telling the truth or not, it was literally his word versus everybody else's, if push came to shove in the court of law.
Right.
So, I mean...
And he would have got burnt, I mean, regardless, because, I mean, he has to stand by what he said.
Well, he has to stand by it, but nobody else is going to stand with him, I think, is the deal in that, too. So it is interesting. Did he get a call from High Limits lawyers? He probably did. Somebody said proprietary information and NDA breach as per his contract, perhaps. That's interesting. Does the High Limit and their officiating crew, and maybe they might look into this now, do they have an NDA? I don't know if you know what that is, a non-disclosure agreement, which means certain things that are talked about. Say you go into a room and they come to you and they're like, hey, before you go into this room, you're going to sign this NDA. So basically that means you contractually, this is how Trump got out from the Stormy Daniels deal, kind of. It's the same kind of thing. Like, if you sign that contract, you basically signed a contract to not saying anything that happens in that room, and if you do, you breach the contract. You know, so it's like it's hush money in a sense, or whatever you're doing, whatever you're reasoning to sign that NDA agreement is like an agreement to shut your fucking mouth. Which I don't know if that's the case. You're just saying, possibly there's NDA. But it would make sense if you were a series like World of Outlaws or High Limit. Wouldn't you want some of your like higher ranking officials to have some kind of NDA agreement with the series and things that transpire, you know? Just on a business sense. It could be sponsorships. It could be all kinds of things. Dirt Vision numbers, whatever.
Right.
You know, you want to have some power to be able to keep that private, and that's what NDAs are kind of supposed to be for. NDAs do get abused, obviously. But regardless, interesting situation with that all getting shut down and hushed. Obviously, we think a lot on the Chaz. But regardless, thanks for tuning into the show. We do have a lot of subjects to get into. Speaking of saying what you think, Sean, I can't believe this is going to be the leader off of the show here, but it's fake news. Have we ever heard of fake news, Sean? What's fake now? What?
What is fake now?
I mean, we got Trump on the screen here, Sean. We got Trump on the screen, And apparently, Sean, there's a bunch of things. We got Kyle Larson, Tony Stewart on the screen here. Oh my. Oh, we got things brewing here. Hold on. This is the king of all crumpets. Trudeau. What was you telling me about Trudeau today, Sean? What was it?
He's resigning, I guess.
He's resigning. Oh, wrong one. He's resigning.
Yep, from what I've been reading.
And then also going around is this joke that Trudeau has, or this joke that Trump has going, is that Trump teases Canada to be the 51st state. You told me all about this, so it's a topic now.
I mean, why would Trump joke about that?
Why would Trump joke anyway? He jokes. I mean, there's a lot of like cats and dogs situations going on out there.
I mean, is something brewing that we don't know about? I mean,
I'm thinking aliens are going to land before January 20th. Something's going to happen, Sean. You think they're really going to let it go as smooth as they're letting it go right now? I mean, they publicized the changing of power agreements and stuff today. Did you see that?
Yeah. And
it's going too smoothly, Sean.
And Kamala had to do it.
Why are you laughing, Sean? Why are you being mean about this?
Thought that was funny.
Why was it funny?
Because did they make her do it? I mean, or was that her? Is that her job to do that? I guess I don't know, but just kind of funny, you know.
Well, Biden can't really walk, talk, or speak properly, so they need someone.
I mean, he can sign all these fucking bills and shit. I mean, pass all this stuff.
Biden's the greatest example that a president really don't matter. I mean, the guy couldn't walk or talk straight, but the country operated as normal. You know, it just kept on going. Joe Biden was proof that the presidency does not run shit, technically, if you think about it. If you use Biden for that example. Motherfucker who can't walk or talk or speak or whatever, but the country just, it's like it's going on down the road.
Trump's going to change it, though.
Okay. I think he's a symbol of change. I think people will spend more.
Somebody in chat said it's the vice president's job. Okay.
It's the vice president's job. There you go. But this joke, unbelievably enough, we had to look into it. Of course, Clark is from Canada, our caller, our NASCAR insider. He hates Trudeau, which a lot of people do. I've heard a lot of bad things about Trudeau. This is actually possible. We went into the research on how Canada could actually become the 51st state. Could Canada become the 51st U.S. state? How Trump's joke could be a reality, Sean. This is crazy. It might have been an offhand joke by Donald Trump, the once and future president of the United States, that Canada should become a part of the United States, but he's rekindled it again and again since, comically in memes and in serious political interviews. Does Trump really think it could happen? So we're going to skip all this, blah, 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 blah. We're going to go how it could legally work. This is how Canada could legally become the 51st state of the United States. That's a big damn country, Sean.
I know. And
I mean, it's half frozen. It's like a giant, it would literally be like if the North Pole was the cherry, we would be like the ice cream cone and Canada would be the whipping or something. Like you know how that coffee was layered the other day? You know, the coffee had the layer here, the layer there. It would be like the giant cream on top, It's huge, but it's basically frozen. But the legal way it could happen is what we're faced with because it says, because we are both rule of law countries, is that the first and most likely method attempted to either unite the two countries or incorporate Canada into the United States would be by constitutional and legal means. It seems to me, this is a person writing their little memo here, that if either Canada as a whole or some portions of it would want to join the United States, they would have to go through Section 41 of the Constitutional Act of 1982, which means that consent would have to be given for the departure from Canada of a particular jurisdiction by the Senate and the House and legislators of all 10 provinces. Because they have provinces. It's like states, but they're like giants. So they called them provinces, and they're French and kind of weird. So it says, my dude almost froze there. This site, maybe it's kind of weird. That already tells you that this is a very unlikely scenario. So basically, everyone, like if one part of Canada or some part of Canada wanted to leave, everyone would have to like agree that province can leave, and that's like kind of hard to. So it gives an example here. It says, let's say for the sake of argument, PEI wants to leave, and New Brunswick and Nova Scotia want PEI to stay. Ottawa, these are the provinces. Ottawa wants PEI to stay. Then there would have to be decisions until they come to an understanding. It can't just be that PEI packs up its bags and goes. So like Iowa can't be like, I want to join Canada without like Texas. Every state has to agree. Like if one state says, no, we don't want Iowa to go, that's where all the corn's at and we're gay and we want it shoved up our buttholes, then no, you can't just go. That's not how it works. The harder to leave way is, once again, it's very similar, but this is the way I think Trump wants to go, I think, potentially. Because this is the joke. Buy America great again. Instead of make America great again, we're going to buy it. We're going to use Bitcoin probably. It said the second possibility is by purchase. A lot of the American states were purchased, for example, in the Louisiana Purchase, and that's how states on the western side of the Mississippi became first territories and eventual states. If you recall, during Trump's term, he talked about buying Greenland. He did do that. Everybody thought he was off his rocker. I mean, theoretically, yes, very theoretically, this is possible. But Canada's not up for sale, and no part of Canada is up for sale. So I would say that is unlikely. But here's the one where he could really get it done, I think. The red alert, Sean. They keep calling it the red wave. We're starting to learn why. This is what he's planning. The third option, I don't know if you want to go close to this one with a 10-foot pole, but it's outright invasion. If upstate New York, close to Ottawa, they have the 10th Mountain Division, which are elite troops of the U.S. Army. It wouldn't, frankly, take much of them to drive up to Ottawa and say, you're now part of us. But it's highly unlikely to happen. I don't know, Sean. Do you think that he would? I mean, he's the type of guy, we want it, we break it, we buy it. He told that one guy to punch him in the face, remember, at the rally?
Yep.
If you're going to punch a damn, Kamala supporter in the face, why not just go up there and whack a country?
Yeah.
See, and y'all would support it, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, what would be the benefits for America and them? Or what would be the negatives, I guess? I mean...
territory closer to Russia, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, possible.
So you're not against us fighting Canada and taking their country? I just want to get this on the record.
I don't know if I would go that far, but...
It would be easy, though, right? I mean...
I think it would be. I mean, I don't think there's too many people that live up there.
Oh my God, I can't believe Sean is stamping this. He's never coming back on the show. We're going to get shut down. You're advocating for war with a neighboring country.
I'm not.
I thought y'all wanted to go after Mexico and the cartel first.
Well, that could happen too.
Yeah, I mean, hey, man. Call of Duty Ghosts predicted that to happen, actually. That's why you see China aligning with Mexico and all these enemies getting that proximity. But the biggest deal outside of this, I know this is interesting, it has been Canadian bacon. Oh, my God. Wow. I thought that was a female joke. But regardless, there's other news that is even bigger and faker than this. We are going to get in the racing news, and this is the first racing news right here. This has been making the headlines, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone's buying it. For some reason, people believe this. It is being reported on. It's reported on Patriot Media. Kyle Larson accepts a multi-million-dollar deal with Eldora Speedway, which will be finalized on August 10th. To take it from Tony Stewart. There's a big long look at this. Somebody took this much time to lie. Look at this. It's a full story. Patriot Media. This is where all the Trump posts come from. Patriot Media. This is where you found out about the cats and the dogs first. And what's even crazier about this story is that the fake high limit, we went over this before, the fake high limit sprint car series page shared it. Yes, this is a fake high limit sprint car series page. It's like having a Chaz channel, but this page we've documented before as being 100% fake.
Is that what you call a burner page?
It's something. Parody page is what legally they should be going after, but it has 26,000 followers. This is a 100% false fake page. They just basically steal all the actual high limit posts and post them on there as theirs. So the fake high limit sprint car series page shares this post. Hold on, we lost it. Where's it at? So look, see, they operate. Look at how they're operating. These are the posts from this page. Look, Danny Sams joins high limit. This page operates like a high limit series page. It's pretty remarkable, actually, what they get away from. But they shared this to Facebook, this fake high limit series page that operates like high limit. This is worse than Kevin Now's, honestly, what this page is doing. This is worse. That's not even a joke. That's like 100% real. This is beyond just saying somebody's cheating. This is robbery and plagiarism. I mean, what is this? This is like saying Trump's Jesus. No, Jesus already came and died. What are y'all talking about? The second coming is on the screen in more than one way. That's great. But this is unbelievable. So the high limit sprint car series, fake high limit sprint car series page shares the fake Patriot Media news of Eldora Speedway being sold a multi-million-dollar deal from Tony Stewart to Kyle Larson sold. And people are believing it. There's look at this. I can't believe the stat is true. There's 449 fucking likes on this, Sean. There's 49 loves. There's 3 cares. I don't know if y'all are following me, but these 3 people are fucking crazy, okay? There's one person that said, wow, you take the cake. Wow, guy. You love people are insane. And these people, I mean, you fell for the trick, I guess. But what bothers me the most is this is the definition of people just seeing like cats and dogs being eaten alive and buying it versus actually just reading. Like, do we not read at all, fucking period? Like, at all? Because look, guys, how real is this post? All you have to do, and maybe this is why this high limit page and everybody is getting away with this, is because it's making fun of the entire sprint car racing community in a way. It literally says on the first fucking line, Kyle Larson accepts. It doesn't even say accepts. It says accept. There's your first clue. It can't even finish a sentence correctly. Kyle Larson accept multi. It's not even spelled correctly. $1 million deal with Eldora Speedway, which will be finalized on August 10th and maybe, I guess, August 7th. It says 2024. Right here on the first sentence. It says August 10th to 7th. Of 2024. That's already happened, guys. Do people not understand that we are, surprisingly, in 2025? So this, for anyone to buy this after the first sentence, do you not read? What? Go, Sean. What?
Why hasn't anybody reported this page and to Facebook or whatever?
Well, I mean, they should be reporting Patriot News, but they do this type of stuff. What we're seeing here, you're like, oh my God, this is so stupid. We can't believe this. None of this is real. What we're watching right here was running rampant during the political season. It runs rampant all the time with football and basketball players. We see all these memes and shit. All these things are almost 100% fucking lies. But they make fucking money. If this Patriot News, like, this page has 26,000 followers. It just shared a post that got 440 reactions and all these fucking comments. This post right here from High Limit itself, just sharing this here, it's probably worth $150. They just made $150. This Patriot Media, however, who just posted it, I don't even know how many they got what, 210 shares on this thing. they got their own little 5,000, 6,000 followers. Who knows how much money they just made on fake news. This is what I was trying to tell y'all people in prior posts is like there's a lot of bullshit out there, a lot of lies, a lot of clickbait, you'll call it, or just funny fucking memes that are just outright lies about football players, relevant people. Then the only reason they're doing it and lying about it and these videos of people making stories up and all this shit and saying crazy things is because it's making fucking money. People are making money on this shit. People would probably say I do that, but at least I come on here and just say what I fucking think about the sport. I'm not fucking making up Eldora Sold, although I almost got tied up in that this year. I don't know how, but that was a little more validity, had some more validity to it. At least that story did than this. This is 100% bullshit lie. And honestly, I guess High Limit had been letting this page just exist or something. I don't know why. But High Limit Racing did actually comment on the page right here. They did put a comment. They said, all as the comment. High Limit Sprint Car Series that posted this is not the official account of High Limit Racing. No one from the series or Kyle's team is affiliated with this fake page. So they did come in here and put a comment that said this. And then there's replies in there. This article is not about the track being sold. It's about a promotional deal that is likely fake. I don't know how that is even a deal. How? There's no promotional deal. This is all fake. It says August 7th, 2024. Guys. What? Once again, I don't even know. The joke could be right there. I mean, the joke could be right there in what it actually says. It says Kyle Larson, except Muti. It doesn't even have an L. M-U-T-I is not multi. So this is where you have some gray areas. Like if somebody's like, if Kyle and High Limit Racing were like, we're suing you over your post. You said that Kyle agreed, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if it's spelled wrong, did he? I mean, it's the idiots that can't read. I mean, I don't know what to say. But there's your slice of fake news and how it can run rampant and how it can be made up and manipulated. And we just need to get better at reading, I think, a little bit. Just a little small bit. And nobody would have ever bought this post. And everybody would be saved from idiocracy. It's just pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Is there anybody in the comments gonna respond to this? What in the hell is wrong with the idiocracy of this? Can y'all just describe what is going on? Muti means a sexual agreement in French Canadian. Does it actually? Somebody just said, what do you think of the Tulsa Shootout from Saturday? Oh, no, Sean. Daddy's back.
Daddy's back, but he didn't win.
What do you mean Daddy's back, but he didn't win?
Kyle Larson. He's the daddy.
Well, that is true. But he has a daddy himself. You know that, right? He does have a daddy, and his daddy is named Chris Bell. And he says he's got 4 words for Joe Gibbs. But honestly, Sean, I got one word for Christopher Bell. And that is Steven. And I'm talking about Steven Snyder Jr. Did we not watch Steven Snyder Jr. once again? We'll put the sorry. Did we not watch Steven Snyder Jr. absolutely look like another race car out there for elite? I mean, he went from 21st to the lead and was pulling away like he was in another division.
Yeah. He probably he could have beat him by half to 3/4 of a track.
Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, something's fishy with the car. And that's how it happened, but they were tearing down everything. They were tearing down everything in front of everybody. People enjoyed that about the shootout, tearing down the motors and everything. But, Sean, how do you technically be that much faster than Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell. How is that possible? Because it was considerable. It wasn't like he slowly got to him and no, once he got, I mean, he came out of nowhere, he passed him, and then it looked like another race car on the track.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
and then the most consistent driver of the year, all of a sudden, just after he consistently drives through the field, right, takes the lead and pulls away, then he makes this one giant mistake out of nowhere, slams into the wall, destroys his right rear of his car, and pulls off.
Maybe next year will be his year.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. The little guy. But Christopher Bell did win, and there was this Larson line that everybody kept talking about. This is a clip from Dozer Cam. What are we thinking about this line here, Sean? What is this? What? The car's literally on the damn. The whole cushion is of the car.
Yeah, he's riding part of that, what do they call it, K-rail or whatever.
I mean, that has never happened. I've been to the shootout several times. I've never seen a guy put the car up there. And in all honesty, even though Christopher Bell won this race, oh God, I can't go forward without mentioning it. $2,500, Sean.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not a whole lot of money, but I want the trophy. I'd give a shit less about the money.
Okay. I mean, everybody left the Chili Bowl for 3 years or 2 years because of money, but 3 times the entries and competition and 25.
Well, I mean, yeah, I get it, but for me, I'm just saying, for me, I would want the trophy more than I would want the money.
Now, Christopher Bell did beat Kyle Larson in this race. And you know, Sean, even though Christopher's not a daddy, he is Kyle Larson's daddy. You agree with this, right? I mean, he beat him again. He beat him again.
Yeah. He did.
What do you have to say about yourself?
I don't know. I mean, it was a good race. I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot and Bell had to start where Larson started, I mean, could Bell have drove his way up there just like Larson did?
Well, and that's the unfortunate truth is that Kyle Larson, you could tell, is just he's better than Bell now. He's better than Chris Bell at this point. One
more lap, I think it would have been Larson's race.
Yeah, he's better than Kyle right now. That you could definitely tell Bell not being in dirt racing for what's it been now? 3 years, two solid 2.
Didn't look like he fell off the bicycle, so
he didn't fall off the bicycle, but there is, and not necessarily in winged sprint car racing. I don't think there's a huge gap between our elite drivers and Larson and Bell. I mean, they're more even, they're more matched. Obviously, in the late model world, Larson's ran away from the late model world because the late model guys started handing him his ass. But in the midget micro, and even though Larson hates micros, in the micro world, Christopher Bell traditionally has handed people their asses. Like, there's been no threat at all. And in the midget world, he's handed Kyle his ass. I saw a Christopher Bell that is knocking off rust at least, but you could tell that Larson has the edge on him now. You could just see that Larson knew what he was doing better than Christopher Bell. Bell looked like a fast guy, but he also just looked like another guy out there. He didn't look nothing special like Kyle was.
Right.
So, I mean, I got to give you Larsonites that at this point, Bell is kind of like fiber optic in Knoxville, Iowa. It's here. It looks like it's there, but it's not. But it's not here yet. It's not. Bell. Okay, so the driver, the line is laid in the ground. The driver is in the car, but is fiber optic. Have y'all ever experienced that? They come to town, they dig your whole they dug your whole front yard out. Just fucking, raped your front porch and everything. What?
I said them fuckers.
And laid the line, and then you call them a month later. Hey, is that fiber optic ready yet? Nope. Nope. But that is Christopher Bell. That's the greatest analogy I've ever fucking given in my history. Christopher Bell, they have come in, Joe Gibbs and Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs is the reason this is happening, in my opinion. I'm not saying for a fact, because I don't want no cease and desist letter from Joe Gibbs Racing, but it comes across to me as once Ty Gibbs wanted to run dirt, because he's running the Chili Boy, he ran the midget on the West Coast. Once Ty Gibbs disclosed some interest in running dirt racing, that's when the dirt reins were let go on everybody, and they could run again. But once Ty Gibbs dug out the damn, front yard, and they laid Christopher Bell into the ground, and they buried him in here for a week or two now, he's in there. Christopher Bell is in the car on dirt right now, but it ain't ready. It ain't zipping around the underground of Knoxville and giving everybody, some kind of Wi-Fi carcinogen cancer or something, whatever that stuff causes nowadays. But I'm just saying. Tyrone Gibbs. There's something about a wife in Tyrone I could talk about. But anyway, but this is a situation where Bell is not on the same level as Larson right now. And that's scary going into the Chili Bowl, I think, personally. We do have some other winners, some notables from the shootout to talk about. We're just showing the little Tulsa Shootout. Obviously, all these images on the Tulsa Shootout Facebook page. Go give them a like. There's your little freaking... Oh, God. We got to put this on the screen. What? Your Wing Day class winner was Kyle Lorison? How do you say his last name? Lorison? I can't understand it. Some Kyle Lorison in a CB Industries car. I bet you he paid $90,000 to race. And then this one was a pretty good story. Maybe a future sprint car star. Hopefully doesn't go to midgets. Hopefully goes sprint car racing. We need more Aaron Crockers who don't move on and oh God, I can't finish that sentence. We'll get sued. We need more Aaron Crockers that don't take the bait, if that makes any sense. This was Hayden Hanson. This was the female driver. Remember, she dominated. It was really good. Seemed very well spoken. And maybe we'll go somewhere out of the Midwest area. Nebraska, I believe, was the state. So we'll see where this young racer goes and comes up through. Obviously, she beat a lot of big names in the building. A lot of big names in the building were taken down by Hayden here. And then Kyle Lazone won the Winged Outlaw, which I wish this was a 40-lap race, because there were people who could have contended here and put on a show. Of course, in the other event, that's the one where I think it was the one where Clinton Boyles and Axum, not the Outlaw one. Or was it the Outlaw? No, it wasn't the Outlaw. The one where Kyle came up through the field with the wing on, that was Emerson Axum and Boyles and all them got in a wreck. Or no, it wasn't Emerson. It was Pursley. Pursley and Boyles got together, which I thought Boyles was a douchebag on the track, but he seemed like not much of a douchebag off the track in the interview, at least. Very, very sensitive for when that camera comes on. But Emerson Axum, that's where he blew the motor in that same race that Larson won. Sorry, we're talking about the Wing Day class. So I felt that one was kind of, given-ish. But obviously, Winged Outlaw, Kyle Larson wins. 2 trophies on the night. We're changing the picture. Fuck you. Oh, God. I didn't mean to say fuck you with Brexton Bush on the screen. Brexton Bush wins the junior sprint race. He did not have to have a provisional to get into the race, I don't think. And he won fair and square. Won the race. What else can you say? It's a junior sprint. And then this one was really good. I'm actually very surprised, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. Brent Cruz, in my opinion, absolutely handed the stock non-wing field its ass on a silver platter. I mean, there wasn't nobody going to keep up with this guy. And it got me to really thinking, I always talk about the rich kids and all this stuff. And there's good rich kids. There's really good ones. You know, there's rich kids that come up and have a lot of talent. There are. I think in our sport, we have a lot of rich kids being represented. We basically have no working class representation because they don't have the money to buy their way up into the sport. All the non-skilled rich kids buy all the rides that could be available to the hardworking young adults and full-grown adults with the more talent or skill or ability. So the rich kid situation is technically drowning the sport overall, but you're going to have some of these rich kids come up in there, even though they're renting a ride, and they're going to be some bad son of a bitches. I just think, you know, in every situation, you need your white-collar guy versus your blue-collar guy. That's kind of your show. That's your Superman versus your Batman, your Dale Sr. versus your Jeff Gordon. You need that rich white-collar representation on your racetracks battling the blue-collar from the slums representation. You know, that I'm not saying that Dale Earnhardt Jr. was from the, or Dale Earnhardt Sr. was from the slums, but I mean, I heard he stole somebody's wrench one time and their girlfriend. I'm just saying, like, these are some blue collar, you know, you need your redneck guy, you know, and so I think our sport has been that representation of the working class star has been taken away through the influx of money over everything, car owners, and a bunch of rich kids with money, whether they got talent or not, they're just going to take your rides. And that means they take all the rides that there are, and no one can race their way into any rides because there's none available. They're all being purchased. I will say, though, the Sprint Cruise, extremely impressive. Do you remember this race, Sean, or no? I mean, this guy ran away from him.
Yeah, he did pretty good.
Drove through him. And this is a guy who's got all the funding in the world. This guy does not lack funding in any kind of way. So this is a guy you're going to see around a lot, maybe in the dirt world. Who knows? I would like to take these guys who think they're really good, and instead of sending them into the easier ranks where the money leads you, or if you got unlimited funds, you go to NASCAR. But we all know that's not where the best drivers in America are. Most people who know how motorsports operates and what I just described is NASCAR, for instance, is the epitome of what I'm talking about. All of NASCAR's rides are full of rich people, mainly. Or even a Kyle Larson, you can say didn't have no money. Kyle Larson didn't have no money, but money came to him. You don't just race your way into those cars. I mean, you can, but if money don't come to you, you're going to get left behind. You know, a guy like a David Gravel and Kyle Larson could be basically are swapping spots in life. If money doesn't come to Kyle and money goes to Gravel, I mean, that's what it's about nowadays. So NASCAR, it's a swampede of that, you know, a multi-million, and people on their, we heard Bumper Clear talked about how very soonly it's going to destroy their entire sport, what I'm talking about right now. They admit it in their industry. But because of that, we have a very interesting situation where the racers, the guys who came up and didn't have the NASCAR money but had all the talent in the world, the home run hitters who didn't have, you know, 3 million or 5 million, or technically we've added up about 15 million to pursue a NASCAR career. Those home run hitters, those sumbitches who drained the threes that didn't have that money, they end up going into dirt racing as a career in motorsports. And so in the dirt racing worlds where you got your home run hitters, you ain't going to get onto the elite dirt track surfaces in the sprint car division, in the late model division especially. That's the number one motorsport in the world over all of them. Formula One, I don't care what you name. That's the number one as far as competitors and drive on the track. You ain't going to get on any one of the, hell, you can even put the big block. I'll throw USMTS in there. You ain't going to get into our big league dirt races and find a bunch of rich kids and one or two that is really good with a last name. When you get to the elites of the dirt racing world, you're racing against home run hitters, buddy. These son of a bitches didn't buy their way to the top. They're starting to in the sprint car world, and some people are okay with that. That's why I give more respect to the late model industry, because they ain't sold on that ideology yet. Sprint cars are close. They're trying to think it's cool. But we still have a little integrity left in our sprint car divisions. And if you go into the sprint car division or the late model, the high profile dirt racing series, you're going up against the best in the world, especially in America. As far as doing ovals on a racing surface, you're going up against the best. Now, could a Brent Cruz go the dirt route and hang with Ricky Thornton Jr. and hang with Jonathan Davenport and hang with Gravel and Shots and all of our boys?
Give him a couple of years. I think he could.
You think he could? I'd like to see it. I mean, I'd like to see if he could. I just highly doubt it. I don't think he's ever went up against that level of competition before in his life. It would shock him to death. He rolls up in the Eldora World 100 and there's 80 cars with the same funding as him. I think that's a shocker. You don't really see that, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And you know, the guys you're talking about, they're getting some age on them. I mean, I think in a couple of years he could be running up there with them.
We'll see. I mean, I would just like to see these other guys who come up instead of going the easy route. Kind of like, in my opinion, the easy route would be going the asphalt. The asphalt route's the easy route. As far as competition, is that not a fact, Sean? The asphalt route is the easy route in American motorsports.
Yep.
There's a price tag to enter that building, and if you don't pay it, you don't even get in.
Yeah, true.
It don't matter how good you are. You could be somebody who can't make a fucking free throw, and you can go all the way to the NASCAR Cup Series if you can pay enough to get into the country club. You can't fucking do that in the dirt world. You can't do that. You better drain threes or take it to the damn hoop, or you ain't going to survive. You get run out due to the competition element. You have to win to be successful. Can't just stay around and rent rides and have Big Daddy sponsors support your career. It don't work. It don't work. Some people, it lasts. Some people, it can last, but it ain't going to work. We do have some Chili Bowl stuff coming. There is some notables. Chili Bowl entry list and teams are out. There's some pretty good names on the Chili Bowl list of this entire coming up next week situation. I'm looking forward to it, Sean. Are you looking forward to this year's Chili Bowl?
Yeah. I mean, if the shootout had any inclination of what the Chili Bowl could be, it might be a good one.
Yeah, there are some notables. They did kind of do little segments here on the highlighted names for each day. I think which one is Kyle Busch? Looks like Larson's on Monday. Who else is on Monday with them? Cannon McIntosh, Tanner Carrick, Golobic, Brent Cruz. We just talked about him. We'll see how he does. Briggs Danner, Joby Miller, Trey Markham, Gary Taylor. Gary Taylor was very impressed. He's always just in the mix. I don't know how it is. Gary Taylor's always there. Tuesday night, Buddy Kofoid, Hayden Davis, who kind of made a name got his name on the stage a couple years ago at Chili Bowl, winning a prelim night. Jonathan Beeson, the world's baddest ass lawnmower. What's the famous one? The one with the T? Toro. He's a Toro guy.
I'm kind of excited to see Carson Bolden.
Yeah, what
Monday
night
night.
is Carson Bolden? That's the
Monday.
That's which one?
Monday.
Oh no, for real?
Yeah.
Oh my.
I'm excited.
Really?
I'm excited to see what that kid's gonna do.
Paul White, Kyle Larson, Nick Hoffman on Paul White, bad motherfucker, Silver Crown champion. Let's see. Let's go down this list then. Yeah, Paul White, Kyle Larson, Nick Hoffman, Aiden Price, Zach Blurton. He's quick in the 305. Maverick Elkins. He's fast. Danny Fry the third. Justin Peck is on Monday. We'll probably be doing a pre-race to every one of these nights. We'll probably be live every night. We're going to be having the Chili Bowl party at Corgliano's here at Knoxville. Carson Bowden right there, 7E. I believe it's Kevin Ramey car. But this is potentially, I mean, you went and saw it, Sean. The things this guy can do, this Carson Bowden in race cars, is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's in a 25-year-old car. Like, first year, I believe he's IMCA Race Saver National Rookie of the Year in a sprint car. First year, 14 years old, working on it himself. You know, that was the deal. They were in a lawnmower trailer, for crying out loud, with the 305.
Yeah.
And just out there nailing it, not afraid, on the throttle. So it'll be very interesting to see the progression of Carson Bowden's career. I project him very highly. If you had a team, you would put somebody like that in there, right? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's from Texas. That's the problem, right? It's hard to come out of the South and go big time 410 racing. I mean,
He better move.
well, somebody's going to give him a shot. The family's doing all they can. 305 racing, that's the ceiling for some of these guys. Kyle Jones is going to be there on Monday. So yeah, Kevin Newton. It's stacked. There's stacked nights. There's good talent, but there's really good race cars and there's race cars. So that's kind of what makes the big difference in some of these fields. But yeah, that opening night, Carson Bowden going to be in there. Like you said, Larson's going to be in there. Tanner Carrick's always strong. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there, man. Briggs Danner too. Joby Miller, Roger Crockett. I mean, you can go up and down the list here and just see good drivers. And that's what makes the Chili Bowl a little bit different than your national midget scene is the Chili Bowl does bring in good drivers in midgets. And that's something that the midget scene usually, I hate to say it, just don't have. They usually don't have good drivers in those cars in the USAC and the Power. They have some. They have like 2 or 3. But you get into the Chili Bowl, and that's where all your professional dirt racers, like your sprint car guys, your Nick Kaufmans, your late model guys. I think Jeffrey Abbey's in here. He's a stock car superstar. There's a bunch of guys with national talent that jump down in here, and that's when these Chili Bowl nights get very, very. I mean, you got Ricky Thornton on Tuesday. I could go down this list. We're going to be doing shows all next week, so just stay tuned. You got even Brandon O'Banion on the damn list. So many names that come jumping off here, but Chili Bowl is going to be interesting, and I think the Toyota TRD team is loaded. They're ready to rock. Did you see this photo, Sean? There's 16 cars for Keith Coombs. What was you going to say? You really like to see what?
I'd really like to see what was that cat's name that did fence repair? Played the harmonica.
Oh my God. Oh.
Let's put him in a car.
You want to see they called him Cowboy. Now there's 2 cowboys in racing.
I mean, I think he could run with Robert Bell.
Oh my God. That's not saying much.
No, I love Robert Bell.
You do love Robert Bell. You do love. So 16 cars for Keith Coombs Motorsports.
Dominance.
Bell is in one of them. Pretty sure Larson's a CB car. So Chris Bell back in a Coombs car. Because remember, it was Bell who actually went to CB Industries originally. And Larson, I believe, that's when they split off and did their Silva ride. But now Bell back with KKM. You got Axum in a ride, Kofoid in a ride, McIntosh. These are pretty good. Pickens, Tanner Carrick, Timms, Williamson, Yankowski. That's a big block modified guy. It's going to be interesting to see him do some rounds out there. Mariah Eads also in there. Mariah Eads needs to definitely step it up going forward. But, 16. But I do think they have the best-looking car, and that is the Toyota traditional throwback. What is it? The Evan Evans. I call it the Evan Evans. That big old off-road truck back in the day. This scheme is legendary, and that looks slick, does it not, Sean?
Yeah, it looks good.
It does. It does look extremely good. But we'll be going down the list each and every night here on the show, so stay tuned. Subscribe to the video. I should be saying this at the beginning and end of every one of my videos, but I don't. A little programming note, though, as we're on this potential layover between the two, you do have the Wild West Shootout. Oh, we're going to get in trouble. Okay, got to scoot on by all this. Where's the Wild West? I was going to give Wild West Shootout a shout-out, Bobby Pierce is tearing it up at the Wild West Shootout. That is late models happening every single night right now. Down there at Votto. He's already got a $25,000 payday. He's back-to-back. He had a really good race with Brandon Shepard. And that, I believe, is on every night except for tonight and Thursday, I think. One driver who almost shocked the world last night, though, was this Colin Weinbarger. He led the opening laps, and I had no idea, and I don't think anybody had any idea who this guy was. He barely even has a racing page. It looks like he runs modifieds somewhere. This is obviously everybody tagging him. But he runs like modifieds in Oregon. And this guy almost beat the best in the business down there at Votto last night. So I wanted to give him a shout out. Really, I really like the smaller teams, the guys who, like I was saying, worked for it. They don't always get the privilege. This guy's got a shot in a car, and he literally, like I said, led the beginning of the race, almost won the damn race. I believe he led the first 16 laps. Memory serves me correctly. It looks like he's been here at Boone. He's in IMCA Nationals victory lane. I believe this is for a heat race, potentially, or did he win? Have you ever heard of this guy, Sean?
Who?
Colin Weinberger.
Can't say as I have.
I mean, he almost won the damn race last night at Votto. Never seen him before. He does have a website. It is on his Colin Weinberger Racing Facebook page, and there's a little link. And that's how I even found out who he was. His page, he needs help, guys. Somebody go over there. Ben Shelton, go help the guy out. I figured out where he's from by reading his T-shirt that he has on his web or Squarespace site, and it literally says Oregon on the front of the shirt. So this is Corbett, Oregon, is where this guy who almost beat everyone is from. Interesting. So Wild West Shootout, check that on out. It's happening. Oh, you'd have to go check the schedule. But it is happening a majority of the time this week. Modifieds as well on the docket. Other cars and classes. I think they trade them out throughout the week. On to the final topic of the show, and this one's interesting. Oh my God, Sean, what are we doing? What are we doing in life? Why in the hell? I gotta ask this out loud. Why did? Oh, hold on, before we destroy the show. Why did Danny Sams go to high limit, Sean? Why did this happen? Can you explain this to me?
I can't explain it, but I think that was a good move.
Okay, so high limit, I figured it out today. High limit is the Xfinity Series, Sean.
Why do you say that?
I mean, people perceive the All-Stars as like this learn how to get ready for the National Series, but unlike Xfinity, they were very regional. You know, the Xfinity Series, they go to all the tracks that the Cup Series goes to. You know, they not only get the teams ready for racing on the Cup level, but they also get the teams ready for traveling like the Cup level. So just because High Limit came along and now they travel nationally, that don't mean that they're the best. Does it?
No.
You consider the Outlaws still the best?
Well, yeah, I do.
Why?
Just because they've been around a long time.
So what I mean, well, Chris Windom just did it last year, right? Chris Windom, got ready for the Outlaws racing High Limit.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, I do think this is a push. You had two up-and-coming young guns in Danny Sams and Garrett Williamson. I like Danny Sams more. Well, I like them about equal. Their stories are very similar. But Danny Sams kind of flashes some more often, I guess. He's got not as much skill or not as much time on the track as a Garrett Williamson does, I think, against national competition. But I see Garrett Williamson and Sams kind of similar. The one question mark here is Chase Randall. Where's Chase Randall going to go, Sean? Because that's going to give the edge as far as like a rookie-ish class. If Chase Randall was to go to the Outlaws, that's a hell of a rookie class going around there this year.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything as far as where he's going.
I think
there's a lot of talk out there, but I don't think anybody knows really.
Well, I think Danny Sams is really good. I think it's a good move for him. I think maybe the Outlaws might have been too much of a step. I still see that there's at least a baby step, maybe saying Xfinity, but there's still a step to me in Outlaw to high limit racing. Somebody like a Garrett Williamson who's competed against the Outlaws a little bit more for a little longer, making that jump isn't as big, but somebody like a Danny Sams probably is a little simplistic to go with the high limit route. I don't know. I think both are tough. We'll have to see how the year plays out this next coming year, but Danny Sams is an official high limit racing driver. And then, of course, the other situation, the World of Outlaws released their rule updates for 2025. They posted those today. A couple of things addressed in their rules. They got a bunch of them out. You can go look them up here on the website. Stainless. So the Larson Silva headers are gone. World of Outlaws said, fuck you. Get that fucking shit out of here in layman's terms way. Elbows on the exhaust after the header tube enters the collector will not be allowed. So fuel cell with bladder and foam will be the only type of fuel cell allowed. So this is kind of, from my understanding, the people I've talked about, they're wanting to, instead of it just being a shell and the bladder, they're wanting there to be some foam in there to kind of pad the distance between the bladder and the shell, instead of just a bladder of a very thick or very well-tested, funny, bladder in the fuel cell. They want there to be like a foam casing around that cell so the penetration and everything is not as easy to obtain or happen. And that concept is, from my understanding, the concept is a lot of the fuel issues we've seen happen at the beginning of the race when the fuel tanks are loaded. There's a lot of weight back there. Things are sloshing around a little more extreme than that shell was designed to hold, and we have in situations like we have been. And the foam is supposed to just make things more stable within the shell of the car. Is this a good idea or a bad idea, Sean? Or do you think it's not good enough? I mean, they also say it's highly recommended that 6 mounting points be used for fuel cells. All safety cell mounting bolts must be safety wired as well. Let me just run through here real quick on the other stuff. It's not much after that. Axles, they're going to have ultralight rear axles will not be recommended for 2025, but they will not be allowed in 2026. This is due to the rear end axles we've been seeing snap. So they're thinking it's a thickness issue and a weight issue. Maximum height of 1.5 inches on the wicker bill. So everybody is the same across the line on the wicker bill. Some people are questioning. I saw Craig Mintz on Facebook say, someone want to explain where I'm going to add another 2 bolts to the tail tank. Can you also explain where the foam is located? Let's keep making rules to things that make absolutely zero sense. Safety wire on the boats have zero reasons as to why they are flying off the car. So people are questioning. There's people in here saying, oh, there's this, there's that. What do you think, Sean? We'll put the chat up as well. What do you think with this safety deal? Is it even something or is it nothing?
I don't think it's going to help, honestly.
Okay. That's it? It's not going to help?
I don't.
No, somebody said Flex Seal is what they want in the tail tank. That might work. Somebody said the wire is pointless.
Don't they want the tanks to come off and get away from the car? I mean,
I guess not anymore. Not anymore. That's not the idea.
they want the driver just to burn up.
No, I don't think they want that. We can't legally say that, Sean. No, I'm just playing.
That's where it's leading. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, Birdie told me that the Outlaws have their own tank that's coming out very soon. There's going to be some stamped, basically, tanks. There's going to be one type of tank come out, and if you don't run that tank, you don't run.
Oh, so who's going to benefit from all this?
Exactly. Who? And that's just a Birdie. That's not a tweet because there's no such thing as a fucking tweet anymore.
Or a cardinal or what?
It could be the Catholic Church.
Jesus.
It could be the Catholics. I don't put it past Notre Dame. It's unbelievable. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. They're going to come out with a new tank, and everyone's going to have to buy that in particular tank.
Going to do the IMCA thing, huh?
Yeah, everybody wants to be IMCA. They really do. They all bitch about IMCA, but all these other sanctions wished they could be like IMCA and just mandate every part and stamp it. But NASCAR's the main guy who's done that. They're down to the cars now.
Yeah, they're doing it too. Who started all that? IMCA.
NASCAR started that. Well, IndyCars probably started it back in the 80s. I'm assuming somebody started making their own parts and stamping them and saying this is an approved part. Hans did it, right, with the safety deal or the it's always trying to profit through tragedy, guys. It was like $800 per foot for a safer barrier in NASCAR. Did you hear what I said? $800 a foot for safer barriers in NASCAR after the Dale Sr. tragedy. Per foot. Do we know how big these tracks are? $800 per foot for a safety barrier. Hold on, let me make sure. I don't want to get Kevin Noust here. Hold on. What?
Fine art photographer said something about if it's going to be a stamp deal, is it going to be legal and high limit?
I would assume that it was going to be very. I have a feeling somebody's going to make a lot of money. I know that. But if the Outlaws do it and it's all for safety, the idea is that everybody's eventually going to fall in line, right? Everybody, especially if they're the World of Outlaws. So for the record, we did get the stats. I'm sorry I was wrong. It was $500 per foot when safer barriers came out and hit the market. $500 per foot. But it was about safety and the love of the sport, guys, right? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep the show kind of quick and simple. That's pretty much it. Any comments, Sean, before we get out of here?
No, I think we covered everything.
Yeah. We'll see what Wednesday brings. I think we may be having us Keith Coons on the show to describe how these rental rights work. You know, we were talking about this the other day. We were going to get the full details.
I'd really like to know what every dollar covers.
Yeah, instead of these people just saying it costs this much or that much, let's just hear people who know and accept the deal say it.
Yeah. I mean, be transparent.
How much is a crash deposit? And once the guy wads it up after 3 or 4 times, how much is it then? 5,280 feet per mile, 500 per foot. So that's $2.64 million in safer barriers per mile.
God damn.
All about the love. All about the love. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. If you're coming in here late, sorry about coming in here late. I would say thanks for the super chatters, but none of y'all did a super chat. Nobody loves the Chaz. It's fine. I'm used to it at this point. I'm used to it. Look at the fake news. I can't believe the fake news. But anyways, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And thanks for tuning in. Tune to the tunes. Until next time, find the Chaz on all your music platforms across the board. We got them out there. They are playing. They are jamming. Oh, my God. Yes, it is happening, ladies and gentlemen. Chili Bowl week right around the corner next Saturday at Corgliano's, the big watch party. And are we going to the Battle of the Barn? Hold on. We got to talk about this. The Battle at the Barn in Iowa.
Des Moines, Iowa.
Battle at the Barn.
Yep, I'm going.
I heard it's scary in there.
You go to a fight and a race breaks out type thing.
Okay, so we may have to experience the Battle at the Barn. That's this weekend, right, in Des Moines?
Yep.
Or Des Moines?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Like the video, subscribe. As always, comment, and maybe join the membership. You see the scrolling down there, all the names. Yes, yes, yes. And until next time, we'll see you then, I think. I just messed the exit up all kinds of ways, Sean. Am I in trouble? No. Okay.
Ready to rip, ready to reach. Place my bets, hey, you never know when playing on hopes what you could achieve. Making the goal, peace with the soul, don't matter the bottle with what you believe. Cause if I'm taking it all in, the calling is harder with nothing that's harder than free. Not giving up, no, don't trip, gotta go. Take a slip, make a pass, a little low. Put it down the gas for a show. Set a pass in the grass for the opo. Got first, never last for the oh no. To the pass, to the glass, to the photo. Cause I'm gonna pass all you cowards with ease. And when them speeding demons come, we don't feast with the beast and the evil hunting lust. Burn your cheeks when I speak with my real passion, love, turning all your